hey, go out there and get what's prepared for you. Something's been prepared for you. You have to go out there and get it. Get that opportunity. In this episode of the Rodney O Podcast, we continue our journey and our survival guide to 2020 as we read through the Gospel of John. Join me in this episode and continue to share with other people. And so on this episode of the Rodney O Podcast, I'm going to share the good news. The good news is that there's a harvest waiting for you, ready for the picking. What are we harvesting? Well, stay tuned and find out. Welcome to the Rodney O Podcast. So, one of the things that I sometimes like to explain or to tell people because I'm asked or people are curious is why do I publish podcasts or why do I post on social media? Why do I encourage other people just randomly, just give encouragement? Why do I talk about God all the time and faith? All those things. Why do I do that? And there's a reason why. And actually, there's more than one reason, but some of the things and some of the reasons why I do that is because it is just a divine gift. It's a gift from God. And I'm simply just doing what I'm created to do. And it's really just weird because when I do these things, it feels like I'm doing my purpose. Have some fulfillment in doing it. And not just, one of those things where it's like, I feel better. I gave some encouragement today. No, it's actually genuine. It's actually something that if I don't do, something feels off, something feels strange. I'm just not the same, And so I've learned long ago that that's one of the things that God has gifted me to do and one of the things that, I am called to do. And it's not a burden. It's not a chore. It's not like it's something that I'm forcing myself. It's not like I have a rule. I have to wake up early. I have to go to the gym. But before gym, I have to do devotion and I have to encourage and I have to pray. No, those are things that I wake up and I'm happy to do. I'm glad to start the day off that way. Feels strange when I don't do it. And one of the things that makes it really special and makes it really a core to who I am is if I miss a day or if I don't do it on a certain day, I don't feel guilty or I don't feel like I'm not accomplishing my list, It's just something that's just natural and something that I love to do. And it just seems like it's a lifelong mission. I've probably told the story before, but I'll tell it again. As a kid, I remember just being on the playground and there was this other kid, I believe his name was Jeffrey, if I remember correctly. I may have that wrong, but I remember that he was there and he was kind of by himself. And so me and another friend of mine just kind of walked over, introduced ourselves, and he became a friend that we would be on the playground and play together during recess. And I remember I soon discovered that he was, back then they had special education classes that were held like in a separate building. And in this particular school, it was like way, way, way in the back around the corner, kind of tucked off somewhere in this little small portable. It's really, like we didn't know what's going on back there. We never knew what was happening. We just knew there was this small building back there where all these kids hung out that were different. And I didn't think anything negative about it. I just knew that we're all different and this kid was different, which was fine. And so I remember playing on the playground one day and somebody came up and somebody said, "Hey, he's in special ed." And the way they said it was in such a way that, they were kind of saying like, "Hey, don't hang out with him. Do you know where he goes to class at? Do you know that he's in that portable around the corner with all those different kids?" And I didn't care less. I could care less. And so that was kind of one of the first things that I remember that is just a God-given gift that I would go and encourage other people and not just judge people by appearances or who they are or where they hang out or where they go to class or anything like that. Later on in life, I remember as I was managing restaurants, that there was a kid a teenager that was about 16 or 17 that I discovered was sleeping at the restaurant. And we were open 24 hours, but he would just hang out. And I soon discovered that. And I remember just saying and talking to the parent and the parent kind of being like, "Well, teenagers and they don't listen," and just kind of left it at that. And I knew liability wise, I couldn't have him sleep in a restaurant. And this is where, I look back and I say my God-given gift was one thing, but I went too far with it because I helped them sign up for an apartment. But as you know, as much as people promise and say, I got to take care of it, I'll do this, I'll pay, and as long as he was working for me, I kind of knew that he could afford it. Later on down the road, it didn't turn out very well because he could no longer afford it. He moved people in that I didn't approve of, and it was a big mess at the end. But I remember just having that, just that tug saying, I need to help. And after that experience, I learned that I can only help in a certain way. There's a certain boundary and limit that I can do with my help and encouragement, because I don't need to enable people. And that's a very good lesson that I learned. And that carried me over into ministry as I did ministry and as I pastored to students and adults and other people. Is that I learned that you can go a certain distance with them. You can go and help them a certain way, but there is that boundary that we do learn. But overall, this is why I do what I do now. I do what I do now is because I really want to encourage and I want to make this world good. I want to bring this world back to good. And so the stage changes, but the work and the word does not. Meaning that the stage in life may change. What you do may change. The scenarios may change. The jobs may change. Where you're at may change. Social media may come along like Instagram and Facebook may come. Texting may become more popular, right? These things come and go, but the word does not change, meaning that no matter where I was, the people and the impact are out there, that I can impact people because they're out there. And what I do because I'm called to do that. And so last week, and I say last week, as I record this podcast, it's been a while. I took a little hiatus and I am back now. But last time in my last episode, I had said that opportunities always happened for me, even if I felt like they wouldn't. Well, today I'm here to tell you that the hard part is already done, meaning my opportunity is ready for me. My opportunity is prime and ready for me to jump on that opportunity, which means you guys all have opportunities that are ready for you to take. And so we're going to dive into this. And so welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is the Rodney O Podcast. Well, today on the Rodney O Podcast, we are continuing the series I titled Survival Guide to 2020, John's Instruction Manual. And so today's topic I titled as Recognize the Influencer. Recognize the Influencer. And so each week I'll be teaching through the Gospel of John, not to be confused with the books of John, like 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. This is the Gospel of John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the first few books of the Bible and the New Testament. And today we're going to look at and read through John chapter 4, verses 27 through 38. And my hope is that those who are unfamiliar with the Bible can get a good intro into it, right? And I believe John's a good book to start. But those who are more proficient can get a kind of like a refresher, right? Like a review of what's happening. And hopefully if they like it, they'll pass it on to other people who may need to hear it. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because in 2020, we had a crazy year, right? It's a year of crisis. We had COVID, racial tension, political fighting, elections challenge, fires in Cali where I live during the summer. We have more surges of COVID happening right now as we speak, as we record this in December. So a lot of things going on. But with all of this going on, I want to give the bright side. I want to get the good news. And there is good news. We just have to all do our part. And so like I said, this year seems to be a year where so many people are just losing hope. So many people are just unsure of what the future holds. At a time where we can all come together in the midst of a pandemic, we see us being divided more and more every day. We're divided if the pandemic is real or not. Can't agree on that, right? What rights do we have? Should we shut down? Should they not shut down? The government, should they have the ability to tell you to shut down? I'm going to wear a mask. No, I'm not going to wear a mask. How serious are we taking it? Some people are taking it way too seriously. Some people aren't taking it serious enough, right? We can't agree. We're divided on that. We disagree at the numbers about it. We've had racial tension this year. We have tension between minorities and police this year. Political battles, right? We have an election and people can't agree on the results. There's fraud, there's not fraud, there's no proof, there is proof. There's no agreeing on that. It never improves, right? We're divided on ideas and points of view. So when we see somebody of a different race, a different political party, a different view, or someone on the opposite side of where we are at, why can't we just take a page out of the Creator's book, which is God's book, and his actions, and just have a talk, have a civil conversation? And the reason why we can't do that is because we are focused too much on me, on my ideas over the other person. I'm right, they're wrong. And that takes precedent over the betterment of the human race. Because although we disagree on what is better for the human race, where does this stop, right? Where does these things stop? And that's the barrier, right? We each have different backgrounds. We each have different life experiences, expectations, ideals. And so we may want to have these civil conversations and discuss ideas and philosophies and where we stand. But eventually, what happens is emotions take over and the need to be right takes over, and we don't make any progress. And so here are the things that we are told that sometimes we may buy into, that we may believe. And these things, I would argue, hold us back. And the things that we believe is, hey, I'm right because X, Y, and Z. And you could say, these are the facts, these are the things, whatever it may be. And our experiences and our backgrounds all play into that, how we were raised, right? But that holds us back from having these civil conversations. I am 100% right because. And then maybe what holds us back is, well, the other point of view isn't good, or the other point of view is wrong because X, Y, Z. They're wrong because of this. Their view is wrong because of that. And another thing that holds us back is, hey, that group, whether it be a race, a political party, whatever you name it, whatever you want to call it, is they're destroying everything because. Hey, the liberals are destroying everything because. Say the conservatives are, the African Americans are, the Hispanics are, the Caucasians are, whatever it may be. We get into that and we say they're destroying everything because of whatever, right? Or we buy into the thing like, hey, you can't change. You can't change it. It's going to be like that forever, or they're going to be like that forever, right? So I'm saying don't get sucked into negativity and hopelessness. That is what holds us back, because we will always have an opportunity to relate and grow together as people. And the opportunity that shows up in our lives is ready for us to take. The hard work has already been done. And that's what I'm going to argue right now, is that the opportunity that shows up in our lives is ready for us to take, because the hard work has already been done. And the question becomes, what makes the opportunity easy for us to take? You see, we have a creator that created us. We were in the creator's plan since the beginning of time. We are what the creator planted. This is why we need to find our God-given gift, because we were designed by the sower, the one that plants a vineyard, the one that sows the seed, the sower, right? And now it's time for the harvest. The hard work has already been done by the one who sows, the one who plants the seeds. That work has already been done. That's the hard part. Our life has been sowed and planted. We're going to reap what the one who sowed planted in us. When we tap into our God-given gift, we will flourish. We will do nothing but succeed, because we will do exactly what we're supposed to do, exactly what we were grown to do, exactly that seed that was planted in us, that was taken care of, that was watered. And now we're going to grow, and we're going to do exactly what we're supposed to do. Let's look at the reading for today, and we can see what I mean. We're in John chapter 4, verses 27 to 38. And this is after Jesus talks to the woman at the well who, if you missed that story, go back to the previous episode and you can hear that. But here's what it says. Just then, his disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking with a woman. But no one asked, "What do you want?" or "Why are you talking with her?" Then, leaving her water jar, that's what she went there for. She left her water jar. The woman went back to the town and said to the people, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah?" They came out of the town and made their way toward him. Meanwhile, his disciples urged him, "Rabbi, eat something." But he said to them, "I have food to eat that you know nothing about. Then his disciples said to each other, could someone have brought him food? My food, said Jesus, is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work, the Creator's work. Don't you have a saying? It's still 4 months until harvest. I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. Even now, the one who reaps draws a wage and harvests a crop for eternal life, so that the sower and the reaper may be glad together. That's us bringing the world back to good, us and the Creator working together. Thus, the saying, one sows and another reaps is true. I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. Others have done the hard work, and you have reaped the benefits of their labor. We have the benefit of all the work that Christ has done, all the work that God has done. And that's what it means, that we are each are made and designed to do our part in making the world good. Since we are designed this way, it will come natural to us. Like I said in the beginning, it's not a burden, it's not a chore. It is work, and it may not always be easy, but the hard part about it has already been done. The making of us, the tools, which is our gift, and the opportunity, the sowing done by the Creator, has already been done. All the hard work is done. And so all we have to do is sit there and look for this opportunity, because this opportunity is ready for us to harvest. You know, when you truly find your God-given gift, you will see how easy it is to flourish. Opportunities will come into your life again, over and over and over again. You know, just keep your eyes open and be attentive, because it will happen for you. You see, when you aren't doing what you're designed to do, you struggle. When you're not doing exactly what you're designed, when you are doing exactly what you're designed to do, you will succeed. Your life won't be perfect. So I'm not saying everything will be fine and dandy when you're doing what you're designed to do, but it will be far better than if you were doing what you weren't designed to do. You know, we have that thing going on right now where it says, choose your hard. That seems like to be the popular thing right now on social media is, you know, everything is hard. Marriage is hard, so is divorce, et cetera, right? Choose it. And so choose to do what you're designed to do, because you will succeed. But if you're doing what you're not designed to do, you will struggle. Both are hard, but choose it, right? Because we function in a world where we need each other. We function in a world where the Creator has done all of the hard work. He wants you to share in the joy by taking part in the easier job of the harvest. So what do you do next? What's the next steps? You know, first, treat other people with dignity and respect, realizing they are just like you. And next, go out and take advantage of the opportunity to make the world good. The hard work has been done for you. Every day you should say, what am I doing today to make the world good? What am I doing today to bring the world back to good? That is our part. Am I tapping into my God-given gift? Because that's the third thing. Realize you will flourish when you're using your God-given gift and harvesting for the sower. Well, please feel free to dialogue with me. My YouTube channel is still out there, Rodney O, and I have a show at Rodney O Weekly. You can catch up on the past episodes. I will start that again in January, and so it will show that I am living what I speak. Please be sure to subscribe to that channel. The link is in the podcast description, or you can simply go to YouTube and search Rodney O. Remember this, I want to inspire, encourage, and motivate all of you as you navigate this journey that we call life. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one.